You Don't Know Ball, episode 23. Welcome back. It is another week in the NFL offseason, and we're going to be doing a little deep dive in this episode of some big name, not free agent wide receivers, but potential trade target wide receivers, A.J. Brown and George Pickens. A lot of buzz has been going on between these two names, whether they're going to stay on their current team. Are they going to get traded? You know, we love seeing these hypothetical mock-up trades to all these different teams. A lot of fun stuff. Most of it is clickbait. Are these moves that we will likely be seeing, unlikely be seeing? We're going to do a deep dive into that. So I'm excited for this episode. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. And so, yeah, let's get right into it. A.J. Brown. So Adam Schefter has reported that the Eagles do not plan on trading him. And I honestly believe that. If you're the Eagles, why would you? Because he just signed a 3-year, $96 million contract. In 2024, he's still under contract. So if they get rid of him, they're going to have to pay him his money. You're basically treating that as a dead cap. You don't really want to do that. It's kind of just a waste for the Eagles. And given the whole performance debate on A.J. Brown, in my opinion, is yes, he had some instances where there were some drop passes. I mean, I think back to the Chargers game on Monday night. There was a couple. I mean, he dropped that one touchdown in the bucket. He had a couple deep balls that dropped as well. I think the Eagles could have won that game. But I still think his performance-wise, he was very sound last season. I mean, you look, he had the most receptions against single coverage last year with 90. That's 9 more than Puka and 11 more than JSN, the other two considered top 2 wide receivers in the league. So A.J. Brown still has the talent. I know he's an aging asset, as teams may call it, and so that's why there's debate on which teams should target him. But he's still a phenomenal player, and so it makes sense to me why the Eagles would want to keep him. Again, Adam Schefter reported that they have no plans on trading him, but with A.J. Brown, there's a lot of drama going on with him. Does he really want to go out? So what is your current take on this, Jack? What do you think is the right move for A.J. Brown from his standpoint and maybe the team standpoint?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think you only would trade A.J. Brown if it becomes the off the field things become that much of an issue. Cost to trade A.J. Brown before June 1st would cost the Eagles $48.9 million in salary cap, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, you would hit your cap credit for 2027 after June 1st, 22 mil and 21 million in dead cash for the next 2 seasons. Like, this is too much money, adding up to $53 million in dead cap space, which is basically money paid for no reason. When he's not on your team, you still got to pay him. And it's just his off the field behavior is not worth this price. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, when they won the Super Bowl, he was reading a book on the sideline. So it's really not that big of a deal because it's never gotten to that point since. I mean, you see this stuff with him following Jackson Dart on Instagram and following Malik Neighbors, and it makes you think, oh, does he want to be a Giant? Like, he's always into the off the field antics. You see him; he posted a picture in his Giants jersey. Like, I don't think this really means anything. I think this is him trying to get an attention grab. Like, you see him on Micah Parsons' podcast saying, "Oh, well, change isn't always a bad thing." He's just stirring the pot. Like, I think there's no way. It's not really up to him, to be honest, but there's no way they trade him.
Yeah, to me, it makes zero sense why A.J. Brown would even remotely want to go to the Giants because for multiple things. Because A.J. Brown winning a Super Bowl, well, he's came out and said that wasn't like his ultimate, most like highest proud achievement. And I know I'm kind of butchering that, but he was more worried about, he would rather have a better statistical season than win a Super Bowl, is kind of what his Instagram post that he posted after they won the bowl a year back was like implying. And so if he wants to go to the Giants, you're not winning a Super Bowl with the Giants next year. I mean, are they going to have a Patriot type season? I don't think so. And are you really going to get the volume that you expect with Malik Neighbors on the roster? And Jackson Dart, is he really an air raid quarterback? Like, he's more of a running threat. I think he's kind of similar to Jalen Hurts in one sense. And so I that's why I don't think the Giants are this. Why would he ever be attracted to the Giants? Because you're also making a lot of money on the Eagles right now. It's not a money issue. If it's an issue about getting more targets and getting more volume, because that was the problem for him all last season, he obviously expressed a lot of issues with the play calling with Kevin Patullo and not performing at the highest standards in the passing game. So if that's what he's preaching, do you really think you're going to get a better situation in New York. That's why I don't. So yeah, I saw the Malik Neighbors and Jackson Dart following thing. Did he follow them before all of this drama thing, or is that something that just happened?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't
So
know.
I think if you want to look at trade targets that might actually be good for him, talk about the Buffalo Bills. I mean, if he goes to Buffalo with Josh Allen, he is the clear-cut number one wide receiver. There's a lot of volume coming his way. I think that destination could be desirable, but like, does Buffalo really want to make a move for him? Because I think if I'm Buffalo, I would rather spend capital to move up in the draft and get someone like Jordan Tyson or Carnell Tate than trade and take on and trade for AJ Brown, take on his insane cap hit for an aging asset. So that's why I don't think Buffalo really makes I mean, it makes sense, but is that really the best move for him? And so what I'm getting at here is I think that AJ Brown staying in Philly is the clear most likely option right now. If we want to look at 2027 when his contract is up, then there's different conversations to be had. But I just don't see how the Eagles trade him away at this situation unless he literally like threatens retirement or something. And I don't think
Hmm.
it comes to that point, given even though he's been a
Oh,
huge diva
yeah,
last
he's been a
season.
diva. He's really showed his agency throughout his career. But I think like he's if like the Eagles are gonna keep winning. Like
Mhm.
we say this and that about the OC, about Patulo, this and that about Jalen Hurts. They're gonna keep winning. Like they're gonna be 11-6 next year. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like whether it's a good year or a bad year, like their floor is 10-7.
Yeah.
So he's he's
100%.
gonna be he's gonna be generally happy, but like there's other spots that who really could use a wide receiver, like the Saints with their young quarterback. They just got their guy. The
Mhm.
Raiders might want to give Mendoza a piece. The Steelers could use him after losing Pickens, which is so
Yeah.
stupid, by the way.
Yeah.
The Niners could really use a good receiver. The Jets, the Patriots, like there's a bunch of teams that could use a receiver like AJ Brown. But
Yeah.
yeah, ultimately, I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, like I said, I want to be clear. I don't think he's going anywhere, but it's interesting because I think that AJ, when we do a lot of hypothetical trades for wide receivers, we're always putting them on a contender. But for AJ Brown's case, he is more worried about volume in catching passes. So a Raiders might make sense. A Steelers might make sense. I don't think that really makes sense though with DK. But like a team in a situation like that that isn't really necessarily competing for Super Bowl. So a Saints teaming up with Chris Olave, that could be a case. Um, I also think a team to look out for if he was somehow getting traded is the Denver Broncos because they need pass catching help badly. Their receivers can't catch for shit. Cortland Sutton was his Pro Bowl receiver, but there was multiple times this season where he was dropping passes, and I think that AJ Brown and Mile High teaming up with Bo Nix, dude, that gives their offense a huge boost. Is that going to
I
happen though?
I think I'm higher on those Denver receivers than you are. Like I'm a
Okay,
huge Troy Franklin believer. I think Lil
yeah,
Jordan Humphrey's a fine wide receiver three. Like they could use him, but I think Troy Franklin's really good. I've always been a Sutton guy. He catches the ball, he creates space. But yeah, I mean, everyone's got that time ticker, that clock on them. I don't know how old Sutton is. I'm assuming he already definitely reached his peak in his career already, but
yeah,
yeah, we can see how long he can keep up the Pro Bowl years, but
yeah.
I think this was the first year for him we saw a slight decline, but he's still producing.
Yeah, he's still producing. I mean, there was a lot of highlights from his year, but I'm just saying I feel like
Hmm.
there's just a drop issue going on in maybe that makes AJ Brown night like because AJ Brown was dealing
Yeah,
with the drop issue as well. So
he's a drop problem, but yeah.
yeah, so that's also something to note. But I think
Uh-huh.
if you're a team like the Patriots, because the Patriots are coming in a lot of wide receiver targets in the offseason, there's definitely a need that they could use.
Hmm.
I would rather take a Jalen Waddle over AJ Brown. I would rather target Jalen Waddle than AJ Brown simply because Jalen Waddle comes with no offseason drama whatsoever. And I also think that AJ Brown's play right now at his current age is more desirable than AJ Brown. I think that AJ, I don't think the Dolphins will trade Waddle. I think the Dolphins have came out and said that Waddle, A Chain, a couple other one or two guys on defense were basically untouchable, and that's who they're going to build around. But I just think his play and his style and his attitude would be more beneficial in the locker room than AJ Brown. Even though AJ Brown might be a better one-on-one catcher, might be a little more. He's a more physical wide receiver. Um, so yeah, if I'm a team, I'm going after Waddle over AJ Brown. I haven't really seen any real news I'm on Waddle recently. I know that like I said, the Dolphins were planning on keeping him, but I haven't really seen any, which is surprising, any like hypothetical mock-ups around him. Maybe I'm just on the wrong side of X or Instagram.
Hmm.
I don't know if you have,
Well,
but yeah, that'll
I
be
did see, bro. They dropped Tyreek, which is crazy.
true. Yeah, they did drop. So that
Crazy.
also makes it. Yeah, they're not looking to get rid of Waddle. I mean, the Tyreek release was, to me, it was expected, and I think it was expected. It was the expectation back in like week 14, week 15. I think even before he got hurt this past season, Tyreek was going to be gone after this year because his salary was just way too much for the Dolphins to afford. And now that they are in a total rebuild year, I'm still interested to see what's going to happen with Tua. I really do. Is he going to retire? Is he going to get traded to the Jets? What's your prediction
Yeah.
on that?
Yeah, Tua's retiring. We know that. We know he's retiring. His brain is
we
mush, bro.
we reported that he was retiring, and we haven't seen it yet. So my doubts are starting to creep in a little bit. But um,
Hmm.
is there like a date they got to announce? I mean, obviously not.
I don't
But
know. Yeah,
yeah,
I guess he can hang it up whenever, but dude,
hmm
he would be screwing them out of like $200 million if he retires right now.
100%. I mean, do you keep him on
Yeah.
as just a mentor because he's not playing? And do
I
the
don't
Jets really
know.
want Tua?
No.
No.
Tua fixes nothing for the Jets.
Yeah.
And like you gotta actually like he's proved being good at one point, so you kind of got to give up more than you should for Tua too. At the
Yeah.
same time, the only reason the Jets would go after Tua is to tank a little bit, but not a lot.
Mhm.
They want to go after, but like I don't know, the Jets are in such a bad spot. It's so hard to say. But
Bad spot. Yeah.
what are you doing when Chiefs get Tyreek and fucking Jeremiah Love?
Dude, that offense
It's
would be
over.
nasty. I mean, the Chiefs are back up. Like back in the, I would put them at the Super Bowl favorites if they got Tyreek and Jeremiah Love. I don't. Like, they probably
How
will be.
realistic is that? That's realistic though. Like
I
that's a
think it's very
realistic
realistic, dude.
outcome.
Tyreek Hill just posted an Instagram story that he was in Kansas City today. Uh, So and he actually, given he was released, he has the ability to choose where he wants to go, and it's clear he
Hmm.
wants to be back in Kansas City to maybe try to get another run at a Super Bowl.
The
Because
funny thing about
yeah,
that too is like no one just goes to Kansas City. Like
hmm
he's just not hanging there. It's not like he's in New
no,
York. He's in Kansas City. Like
bro, it's
nobody's going
January,
there.
It's February,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, exactly.
it's cold
It's
there.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me go take a vacation to Kansas City. Little
Yeah.
weekend trip, bro. It's not even the weekend. It's fucking Wednesday. Yeah, let me go take a
It's
midweek
so funny.
Wednesday trip to Kansas City, bro.
Yeah.
No, he's definitely linking up with maybe some old teammates or
Teammates.
training guys or whatever. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some news on that in the next couple weeks.
Hmm.
Maybe lock that down. That'll be interesting to watch. Yeah, for Tyreek, it's either Kansas City, Buffalo, or Baltimore. I could not imagine Tyreek in Buffalo. That would just feel
Be
so
weird. It
weird to
would
me
feel so weird.
because he played on basically two of their biggest rivals the past his whole career. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, that would be some interesting stuff. But speaking about, let's shift over to George Pickens. So
Yeah.
George Pickens right now. The Cowboys had came out and said that they are willing to possibly trade him for the right deal. Now, Pickens' franchise tag is going to be $28 million already. And the Cowboys are already $30 million in the hole. So taking on his franchise tag puts him like $60 million like below cap. So that is not a position they want to be in. But when you're dealing with George Pickens and you saw the production he had, superstar level leap that he had with the Cowboys last year, and just the way that you saw Dak Prescott and that whole entire offense click. They were arguably the best passing offense in the league. If they get another couple pieces fixed around them, this is a Super Bowl team. That's not an exaggeration at all. And so I think Jerry Jones absolutely needs to do everything he can to keep Pickens in Dallas. You don't want to lose out. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity because Dak Prescott's only got, how many more years has Dak Prescott really got in his prime? I would say it's maybe 3 or 4 before he starts to really teeter off, and then you gotta start having conversations on who's the next quarterback. So I think you gotta lock in Pickens. He was an All Pro, and you kind of just work with some of the other contracts that you got to restructure to bring that salary cap back up. I think it's a no brainer.
Hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, I mean, we also saw this Cowboys defense down the stretch. They were kind of nails. Like I know they started terrible and they were bad. Then they made that trade. Obviously, they got rid of Parsons. Then they got a piece or two, Kenny Clark on the defensive side. they were a top 10 defense in the last 5 games of the regular season.
Hmm.
I don't think their defensive struggles overall from this past season is going to carry over. I think they're going to pick up where they left off, and I think you keep Pickens and you give Dak another shot. I think you give Dak another shot.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even say uh, give Dak another shot because I feel like Dak is an MVP candidate next season. If the defense, like we say, MVP is in one sense, a team award. If the Cowboys get over 10 wins next season, Dak Prescott will be top 3 in MVP voting. There's no doubt about it because of the production that he gets, especially with Pickens. I mean, Pickens finished with 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns last season. It was just phenomenal to see some
Yeah,
of
he's
his
legit.
contested grabs that he had. And yeah, I think the Cowboys will be dangerous. Like you mentioned, their defense took some strides forward at the end of the year. Getting Quinnen Williams was a huge piece. Bringing in the new defensive coordinator, I mean, Matt Eberflus was just atrocious last season, getting his guys to tackle. They had a linebacker issue, really. But they started to get some guys back, and I mean, we say it every year, like it's Cowboys year. But I genuinely think that there's going to be a huge step because really, there's no more excuses now, especially in this year, because you've had 2 mediocre years the past 2 years. It's time to take the step forward, and it's time to get back and make a deep playoff run. I mean, there's really no excuse with the talent you got.
I think the NFC East standings are probably the biggest question mark of next season. I could give you 10 different combinations and I don't know if it's right. Like, are the Giants legit? They're starting to come together, starting to get pieces. Like, is Jaden Daniels a legitimate quarterback? Is he going to carry his Commanders team to the top of that division? Are the
Hmm.
Eagles frauds now, like with this whole Patula and offensive coordinator situation? Now it's like the Cowboys just reloaded. The conference is up for grabs. This division's up for grabs.
Yeah, I'm starting to think about that too. I think that it's going to be between the Cowboys and Eagles. I think the Giants teeter around that 8-9 wins. Maybe they make a push for a playoff wild card spot. I think the Commanders are going to be back at the bottom. I think that there's just from the roster talent perspective, the Commanders are the clear bottom in the division. I know that they just made the NFC Championship like 2 years ago, but I mean, we're not going to call the NFC East a powerhouse, especially when you have the NFC West. Like, and they got 3 playoff teams right there. It's a tough going for one of them. Gotta like, is the Giants really going to take them? They should. The Giants have the talent where they should compete for the division, but I just don't see it in year one for John Harbaugh. I still think there's questions on your offensive playmakers and staying healthy. They got a good defensive line, but they need help in the secondary. They need help at the linebacking spots. So yeah, I would go between the
Yeah.
Cowboys and the Eagles for sure, just like it kind of was this year.
hmm Yeah, that's
But
fair. That's
yeah.
fair.
Mhm.
NFC is loaded. I feel like it's been all about the AFC for so long.
Yeah, no, it's definitely taking a tide. I mean, it depends though. Next year might be different. If you have the Chiefs and the Ravens in there, then it might be a little more even. But yeah, I think off the bat, NFC is clearly more superior to the AFC right now, no doubt, with just the amount of time.
hmm
Because you look at the NFC North as well. Maybe the NFC South drags them down a ton, but then you got
hmm
yeah, like I mean, the AFC North is still pretty competitive. Obviously, they're probably the most competitive division in football year in and year out when you look at that from like a whole past like 20 year kind of scale. Um,
hmm
but yeah, NFC West, NFC East, NFC North, those are the 3 best divisions in football right now. So yeah, the NFC is superior for sure. Um, but yeah, so
Yeah,
I
man.
yeah, I think that's good. So we yeah, like we said in the episodes, we're probably going to give you some more designated topics for the off season just to kind of do a little deeper dive into them and give a little more better analysis instead of kind of spreading it out. Obviously, if there's some updating breaking news, we'll give you that as well. But for this week, it's all been free agency, trade talk stuff going across Wildcard Network. A lot of interesting buzz. March Madness is also kicking off soon. It's almost March, so get ready for that. Got some bracket talk coming up. A lot of buzz in the hoops world as well coming your way. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to subscribe if you guys aren't already. I think the new schedule we're going to be doing for the You Don't Know Ball podcast is dropping every Thursday. So stay tuned
hmm
for Thursdays on that. We're going to get that on a consistent posting schedule. So stay tuned every Thursday morning and look out for a new episode. So and drop a comment as well. If you got any
Let's get it.
recommendations, anything you want.
Yeah.
But yes, sir.
Open
Sounds
ears.
good.
Open ears. As always, you don't know ball, but we do.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for listening.